conversations about purity. Guys, I'm so excited about our guest today. So we've got a married couple, a young married couple that I've asked to come to the table, so to speak. So we've got Scott Fischer and Lisa Fischer. They're amazing people. I did go to their wedding, and I did catch their bouquet. So,
No big deal.
I love their marriage. I love everything about them. And they're both, they're powerful together, but separately they're in love with God, sold out to God, and then God brought them together. So I posed to them the same question I posed to everybody. What is purity to you? And how is it that they get to walk in purity? So they're going to speak to that today.
I guess I will start.
Awesome. Thanks,
So
Scott.
I think for me, it really doesn't matter what season you're in. At the heart of purity is the same thing, and it's trust.
Wow.
And what I mean by that is purity is trusting God to meet your needs and not taking your own needs, especially sexually, into your own hands.
Yeah.
And when you trust His goodness, despite what you might feel in a season, because I think when I was single, it was so easy to feel like, oh, God's holding back for me. Like, oh, like this one area of my life, like I just can't get my needs met.
Yeah.
And it just comes back to trust. Like, do you trust God's heart toward you?
Yeah.
And do you trust, ultimately, once you get married, who He's given you?
Yeah.
Like, to be the fulfillment of that in your life.
That's so good. And I've got to ask, so how old are you, Scott?
I'm 30.
And
29.
And they were recently married. So this wisdom is coming from a place of a long season of singleness.
Yeah.
For the both of you.
Long.
Long. Yeah. Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, purity.
Purity.
Purity. Hashtag purity.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what was it like for you, Lisa, in your season of, how about, let's start with singleness. And then I would like to hear what it was like in your dating season between the two of you.
Okay.
Give us the goods.
So in the topic of purity when I was single, so for me, I think purity looked a lot like open communication with God.
Ooh.
So it was just every need that I was feeling in every area where I felt like maybe I was getting distracted, I would just bring it to God. And what do I do with this?
Yeah.
And just constantly in a process of bringing my thoughts before God.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of that verse, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing to you, oh God.
Yeah.
So that's what I would try and do.
Yeah.
Even when you're single, when you're married, it's like you were saying, the essence of the principle is the same.
Yeah.
But that's what it was for me, is just open communication with God, trusting Him that He was going to meet every need, every desire.
Yeah.
And and even going to meet that need by bringing a man into my life in the right timing.
Yeah,
and the
that's
right
good.
guy. The right guy and the right timing.
Right.
Both are important.
Yeah.
So
That's so good. And I've heard that consistently from a lot of our guests, is your thought life, being aware of what you're thinking about, and you know, begins within, and then you begin to see that purity on the external come into fruition. So it's really important.
Yeah, I think for me, as far as I totally agree. It begins in the thought life, and I would refer to that as, you know, in Song of Songs when it talks about like, catch for us the foxes, the little foxes that steal the vineyards. And I've like, we kind of, when we were dating, we developed this terminology of just catching foxes.
Yeah.
And like we didn't do it perfectly, we did it well.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that helps you do it well is, like, I think, like, if you make a little mistake and you go a little further than you want to, it's so easy to be like, oh, well, we already blew it, you know, but it's like, man, catch that fox before it becomes a bear.
Wow.
You know, like,
absolutely. That's
like,
an
admit it,
incredible
like,
point.
repent to each other, and, like, repent before the Lord, and, like, get back up.
I love that. I love what you just said about repent to each other as well. So if you're in a dating relationship, hopefully a godly dating relationship, be in the light together, right? Hold one another accountable. You also want accountability in your life as well, outside of who you're dating. But catch those foxes. That's a practical tool that you guys could use in your journey. So I want to pivot us real quick. They've talked about their singleness a little bit. They've talked about dating a little bit. Is there anything else you wanted to speak to in dating? Scott, you brought up something earlier.
Yeah, I think in dating,
Yeah.
people always ask the question, and it's like the quintessential question, how far is too far?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, don't do anything you wouldn't do in front of your grandma. And it's like, well, that's not what, like, That's not very practical for
We
most
wouldn't
people.
do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a terrible answer to that question, personally. But what I would say is, don't do anything with someone who's not your spouse that you wouldn't be okay. Like if your future spouse was currently dating someone else,
Wow.
don't do anything with the person that you're with that you wouldn't be okay with somebody else doing with your future spouse.
That
That's
is
really
so good.
Yeah,
Can I add to that? I think, were you finished? You wanted to
Yeah, I was
finish?
just gonna say, treat other people like you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's just an extension of that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes. And I lost my thought.
I'm sure it was an awesome thought.
It was such a
Total
good
awesome
thought.
Yes.
No, this is my thought. I think it's
Yeah.
really important to know your own weaknesses and areas you struggle in.
Yes, very
Like,
good.
I know for me, one of my love languages is physical touch.
Yeah.
I've known that for a long time, and so if I love you, I want to touch you, I
Yeah.
want to hug you, I want to be by you.
I'm not mad about it.
And when I'm like,
I like that.
and when you're like crazy about someone, like I
Yeah.
was like so crazy about him.
Yeah.
I knew a weakness for me was like getting physical
Sure.
and
Yeah.
like loving to be touched. And I knew within the proper context,
Yeah.
it was going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But I knew because of my own makeup and who I was, my personality, that it would be good for me to just put up some boundaries.
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 Come on.
Boundaries.
So like we didn't. This is our personal choice, and I don't
Yeah.
think that this is like what everyone has to
Right.
do.
It's
But
good.
our personal conviction is just we didn't want to kiss
Yeah.
until we knew that person was going to
Yeah.
be our spouse.
That's so
until we
good.
were engaged.
Wow.
That's just us, and that's something I wanted to do personally. He
Yeah.
wanted to do personally.
Yeah.
And I knew it would just kind of help us out in the whole physical arena.
Yeah.
Because there's so much temptation in that as is.
Yeah.
So like boundaries
Yeah.
help you
I love that.
not to overstep.
That's so good. Boundaries help the foxes not even come on the land, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to catch
That's
them if you
true.
have good,
That's
godly
true.
boundaries in place. I love that. I love all of that. So, in our last brief bit of time here, talk about purity in marriage. Whatever you want to bring up, whatever you want to talk about.
I would just say the best defense is a good offense. And be crazy about that person.
Yeah.
And be passionate about meeting their needs.
Yeah.
And like in the way that they need their needs met.
Yeah.
And just like, you're married. Once
Yeah.
you're married, like,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, from a woman's perspective
Yeah.
too, purity to me looks like talking through things.
Yeah.
If you're struggling with something, and you were saying trust earlier, and I think communication
Yeah.
breeds trust.
Yeah.
And if you feel like, I don't know, I've heard couples that even like if their husband or wife like has like a weird like sexual dream about someone else, who knows? They'll tell each other.
Yeah.
I don't know where this came from, but I had this.
Wow.
And just to kind of like have that open line of
Yeah.
communication.
Yeah.
For me, I think that helps purity stay in the marriage
Yeah.
because everything's out there.
Yeah.
You're one.
Yeah.
You're one.
I love that so much. Wow. I hope you guys are taking notes on the other end of this. I hope you got something out of it. And if you did, tell people about these conversations. These are just honestly scratching the surface. There's so many layers to the conversation about purity. It's a large conversation, but we're beginning to have these healthy, holy conversations. And so thank you guys for your vulnerability. Thanks for coming out. They're amazing. Stay connected to them. We got Scott and Lisa Fischer. Appreciate you guys so much.